claw? You ever slam a fresh claw? Ooh.
I know, dude. I like to play things on the edge.
Oh shit.
Dude, this is gonna be a weird episode, I can already tell.
Yeah.
Especially with a fresh claw going down.
Ooh.
We gotta clink at least. Dink. Dink it.
And sink it.
God, why are we the biggest dorks, huh?
Oh my god.
I'm glad at least like you're into it.
Yeah.
You know? I'm glad I'm not the only one who watched Good Morning Morning all the fucking time.
Yeah, no, it was a part of my daily fucking routine.
Shout out. It's raspberry too.
Ooh. It's a rough flavor.
It is. The ones that taste better are like harder to get down.
Yeah, it just tastes more like alcohol.
You think?
I think so. I think the raspberry tastes.
I think it's like I don't know if it's more sugar. I don't know if that's a fact, but like something about the strongness of the flavor.
Yeah.
Makes me get like, about that flavor. The more I fucking down it. Let's see. I got 2 grams of total sugars.
I do as well.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
because that's an easier flavor. The lime there.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to chug.
Absolutely. It's that and the ruby grapefruit.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you watching and or listening, mainly those watching, we set up a monitor so we can see ourselves, and it helps us frame. But if you catch me not looking at the camera, but slightly to the right of the camera,
slightly ajar.
That is why it's going to be a bad habit, and a habit I will work to fix for your entertainment, for your connectivity. Because like how weird it would be if it was just like me staring right here all the time instead of at the camera.
Helps us keep on time.
Absolutely. Also helps that, it has a timer right there, which we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Having a timer, a little clock for the room.
A little Game Grumps style action.
Dude, it's this whole thing has been Game Grumps and Ear Biscuits, like...
Influenced, yeah.
We just 100%. Gotta get... So we've got this down.
Yeah.
We can bust out 2 episodes every Saturday. Boom. Bada bing, bada snap. You know what I mean?
100%.
We have to get gaming content like that as well.
Yeah.
Like the Elgato. It's just like, it feels like it's such a pain to get it all set up. Because we have to do the Elgato, we have to do OBS, we have to make sure everything is all right, all that shit. But, I'm wondering, like, because we could maybe use your camera here as a webcam.
Yeah.
With that HDMI.
Yeah.
And... that'd be cool, but the thing is, I feel like it's such a pain because we have to rearrange the entire living room.
Yep.
Because we would probably bring this out there.
Yeah.
Because that needs to clamp onto something.
Yeah.
We have to bring that out there. That needs power.
Yep. Yeah.
It's like
we'd have to do a setup.
It's a pain. We would have to.
It's pretty modular as it is.
I mean, what if we just brought shit out here in here or something?
Yeah, we can also shoot games in here.
Shit, dude. I mean, maybe we could work to mount it on the wall. Wait, what? We need a stud finder. That's right.
Yep. I mean, but playing games on the couch is like definitely chill
vibe.
Yeah, it's definitely easier to do.
Definitely easier to do, but I'm thinking like it's also easier to fall behind good audio quality.
Yes,
because like
we'd have to have the mic pretty close.
Pretty close. Yeah, and I tried it on the chair, and it still was. It still wasn't ideal.
Yeah, understood.
I don't know though.
I mean, what kind of gaming content are you thinking about creating? Just commentary?
Streams mainly.
Okay.
Or like commentary, like funny moments, where it's one of us playing Fall Guys or it's one of us playing Animal Crossing. I really don't know, I've gotten so far in Animal Crossing. And you can only have one world per game.
Yeah.
But if we did Animal Crossing, I would probably want to restart.
This is probably a good time to tell you I deleted your save file.
Fuck! I knew it would happen.
Is it a thing? Can that happen on Switch?
Delete your save?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
But it would take a lot of deliberate action.
Yeah.
Especially with Animal Crossing, because you gotta everyone's freaked out when you do it, because it's all real time, right?
Yeah.
So when I go back, I haven't played in months.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of the year when it came out.
Yeah.
I go back. After not playing for so long, I'm gonna have bedhead.
No, really?
And there's gonna be weeds all over the town. People are probably gonna have moved out.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So it's all in real time.
It's all in real time.
That's
People are gonna
cool.
be like, where have you been?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's Call of Duty. They don't miss you.
No one gives a shit about you in Call of Duty.
No, it's like, oh, you're only Prestige 2? Piss off, you fucking noob.
Fucking noob, dude. Get the fuck out of here.
Get on my server.
No, you've worked to get to level 55 twice now, but
yeah,
you gotta do that.
I know, I've been grinding. I've been grinding hard on Call of Duty.
But see, we can also do that, like,
Yeah.
because that's more commentary, right?
Yeah.
Like, or at least that's something I can like talk over and
Yeah.
make it fun, maybe.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, I don't know if Call of Duty is fun to watch. I feel like it's it's a hyper saturated area
Yeah.
of content.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
I don't know. It's like it's a game I enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely like very fast paced.
Absolutely.
It's like I would definitely want to have a partner while I'm playing it because
Right.
it's like I am super hyper focused.
Exactly.
So it's like I am like there's so many minute details, especially with the like the footsteps and stuff. It's like I gotta be wearing headphones
Mhm.
because it's like I'm gonna absolutely suck without them.
Yeah.
It's like I hear every little detail.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. It's a game definitely you gotta play with a partner if you're doing commentary.
Definitely, I think so. And I think other games we could do, like, I have Breath of the Wild. We could do, I think, multiple saves of that.
Yeah.
So I don't have to fuck over my shit, but like I don't know. Shit is not fucked up yet.
Yeah.
I haven't beaten the game. It's not that important. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Like, there's Minecraft to do.
Yeah.
There's Minecraft.
Can
to
always
play,
do Minecraft.
but that doesn't involve the Elgato. There's other couch games like that. That one with the arms.
Yeah. What was that?
Tug Ho.
Yeah, Tug Ho. That was a good game.
Yeah.
We played that with Natalia.
Yeah.
That was a very fun game.
I agree. Yeah, that game is super fun, and it's a good like couch multiplayer
Yep.
team thing. But it's like, for me, as someone who's played like the first 5 levels so much,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like I can only do so much.
Repeating it so many times.
Yeah, and it's like it's
teaching
still
people.
fun, like like watching people struggle.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's definitely a learning curve.
Absolutely.
Once you get down which hand is which hand,
Mhm.
it definitely makes it a lot easier.
You start noticing like small things, like, oh, there's a tiny R over that hand. Whatever
Yeah.
that means.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's other
100%.
things like holding down the grab button and then
Yeah.
swinging the arm instead of like worrying about timing it.
Yep.
It's something that like now I don't even think about, but it's definitely something I had to learn to do.
Or even Mario Kart.
Mario Kart, yeah.
That would be a pretty fun one to do commentary
Yeah,
on.
I think so. Like, Mario Kart is good as well. I don't know why I'm checking my watch right now. Because that seems weird, especially for the people watching. But the people listening had no idea.
Yeah, well, you were talking about something with like the notifications on your watch earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty weird that it like notifies you when people like post stories instead of actual posts.
Yeah.
It's like on Snapchat. It's like I'll get to it.
Yeah.
It's like if it's somebody that I specifically subscribe to on Instagram,
Right.
you can notify me of that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
But Snapchat's just people you're friends with.
yes, it's just like random people posting garbage.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, absolutely. I remember I saw a Hank Green tweet that was like, stories are the worst. Like, no, like, let's offer people this platform to post content, and then let's give them this option to post shittier content.
Yeah.
which
that's
is
what it
just which is just what stories is. And
Yeah.
part of me is like, fair, I guess.
Yeah.
Part of me is like, I guess, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
fair that it's shittier content, but it's like, it's there, and it's fun to see people's like day to day at
Yeah.
least, or like, especially when they talk to stories, like talk to camera.
Yeah.
I find those to be
More engaging.
engaging, exactly. I don't like when people just share things to the story, other than like, I don't know. It's a whole convoluted thing, because like there's certain activism happening on Instagram specifically, and like
Yeah.
there's certain posts that are being made for shareability and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's annoying when you have to go through people's stories and then you see everyone sharing the same thing,
100%.
whether or not that's like an activism thing or like, I don't know. It's just sort of like a stupid nuisance, right? It's not like the biggest deal.
Like I use stories mainly just because it disappears after 24 hours.
Mhm.
It's like I don't feel so strongly about this post that it should stay on my page for so long. It's like I do it more for updates
Right.
on what I'm doing
Right.
rather than what the actual project is. I will use my post on Instagram as what the project is and what I want to share, and then I'll use my stories for updates throughout that process. So it's like I'll do a post about my editing, I'll do a post about the shooting, I'll do like all that kind of stuff
Right.
prior to the release of the thing. That way I build hype.
That's what's so dangerous though. Because like, for me, as someone who fails to deliver a lot of the time, shout out to my YouTube channel, because I haven't posted a video there in so long, and I made this whole plan to release videos on there.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fucked. the essence is that like I don't want to build hype because I always end up letting people down or letting myself down. And I just like I wish I could have more confidence and more deliberate action toward pushing content, right?
Yeah.
Like in the beginning of the year, I had this whole structure where it was like every other video was a live action video of some sort, whether that be a blog, whether that be me working on something, whether that be making a song or carving pumpkins, like whatever it be. And then every other Tuesday. And then in between those would be like a drawing content where it would be me sort of Peter Draws style, talking about whatever, I guess. I can't really remember what I talked about, but it would have also this original piece of music behind it.
Cool.
And that's how, the ones that were music, the live action videos that were more music based, I didn't have to worry about the music behind it because that was sort of the content. But I did create all music in those videos myself, and that was a big deal for me. You know, like 100% of what was being made was from me, and what was being shown was from me. But with this future gaming content with Gamers Wishbone, shout out to that channel if you guys want to go subscribe. Good luck finding it. But there's videos up. They're heavy meme content, like heavy just like trash content, I guess is what you would call it. Less so meme. But like what the newest video that's up there is 30 seconds long and there's no audio.
Okay.
Like there's no audio to it. That's just what it is, but it is what it is. Yeah. It's building up to a payoff, like in another video that hasn't even come out yet. Like,
I mean, but it's all just like build up. That's what it's for.
Absolutely.
It's like I definitely value the whole portion of build up just because it like builds an audience.
Absolutely.
Behind what you're going to release. That way you have an audience when it does release.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have people who are like been following it, listening to it. I just like with the YouTube channel, like obviously no one's come out to me, which is also kind of like deterring a little bit. Like no one's reached out being like, "Where's the fucking thing?" You know, it's just me being like, "Sorry about the lack of thing," and like I can only imagine people seeing that and being like, "I didn't care."
But it's also just like because we're doing it for fun.
Right.
It's like we're doing it to build one, our portfolios, and two, we're doing it because it's like it's something we enjoy to do.
Right.
So it's a little bit different in the aspect of this is our hobby.
Right. Yeah. It's just a real big hobby.
Yeah.
You know, like it's such a defining hobby.
Yeah.
So it feels weird calling it a hobby, you know?
When it encompasses so much of your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like fucked.
I know. It's like I like feel especially when I talk to girls and stuff, it's like I say it's like I'm into art. Because it's like I don't define myself to one genre technically.
Good, man. That's awesome.
It's like I'm just into art. I like artistic pieces. So it's like I mainly focus on videos, but it's like I'm willing to dabble in music. Mm-hmm. I'm willing to dabble in writing. I'm willing to dabble in a whole lot of different aspects of the art scene. Yeah. It's like I did do a graphic design for a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like I realized that it's like that's something that just goes along with video editing. A lot of video editing is graphic design. Yeah,
for sure.
And doing assets for videos.
Yeah, that's what's so cool too. Like you realize how interconnected all the arts are.
Yeah.
You know, and like, oh shit, I should really learn this so I can make better content in another thing, right? Yep. That's what DSLR Guide. He put out a video where it's like titles. Yep. Like make your own titles, you fool.
Yep.
And like part of me is like writing on the aesthetic of the basic fucking title in Final Cut, right? But that's definitely in the beginning, like I rode on that aesthetic of it just being whatever. I think it's like I don't know if it's the new Apple's font or if it's just Arial. I don't think it's Arial, but it's like this basic font, just white text, black background.
Okay.
And I don't know. I was writing on that aesthetic, and I still am, and at least for the gaming content and sort of trashier content. Like even with our clips, like I made a point to find a font that looked like the TikTok font.
Yep. I mean, and that's all just like honing your craft, you know? It's like going in and just figuring out what looks best to you, because that's what matters the most. Definitely. It's like once you figure out what looks best to you, then you just run with it and hope other people think the same.
Yeah, It's different. It's difficult to evolve, too,
Yeah.
to change and to be okay with that change. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, I always have such an identity crisis, or like at least maybe not even an identity crisis, but like a change of identity with who I see myself as now, and then needing to accurately portray that on the internet.
Yeah.
And I guess so. Right now, I feel like part of me is finding difficulty with like this podcast and my other sort of solo stuff, because like on here it's definitely like this bro vibe, right? It's definitely this like two guys getting drunk and like I don't know, just doing dick jokes and talking about girls and how like a clitoris is like a tiny dick, right? Like,
100%.
It's a different vibe from like this deep soul searching sort of even like poetic sort of writing of the blog posts, and like it's different than like, I guess there's a crossover between those two vibes that is my music right now, where it's like, oh, a lot of it is about like eating ass and like getting a dick in the ass, like super homoerotic shit, and then like also some of this like poetic heartache lyrics, right? And that's, I guess, like that is sort of the crossover where and there's obviously moments that aren't super bro-y and like I don't know, just stunting and shit like that.
But being able to do that is a skill.
Exactly.
It's like being able to, turn that on and off is definitely like, it's a skill. Being able to know that you can do that.
Right.
Like, it's taken me a long time to realize like how I am portrayed in other people's eyes.
Right.
And so being able to hone which persona I want them to realize who I am. It's a matter of like, I want people to feel me on a different level depending on how I feel about them.
Right.
It's like if I'm with another bro dude, I'm going to put myself out as a certain way.
Right.
But if I'm with like an interpersonal, like somebody who understands life, I'm going to portray myself in a little bit different of a way.
Right.
But it's like one is more comfortable than the other.
Definitely.
So it's like I only really open up to certain people that understand how feelings work and how that kind of is understood.
Yeah.
But it's like otherwise I'll just shift to the bro thing and talk about clitoris penises, because it's like one of those is going to be funny and everybody's going to have a good time. The other one is going to be a whole lot of, learning.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
It's like which one is appropriate for the time.
Exactly. And I think like part of it is that skill of like going back and forth, and part of that like I don't know, like at the same time I don't want the aspect of that broiness, right? Like, to negatively affect the perception of the other shit. And it's like, that's probably not gonna happen. Like, people, it's different shit, you know what I mean? Like, it's different content. This is the same program as the fucking clitoris program, you know? It's like, it's different vibes, you know what I mean? It's just like, you don't like that, fucking maybe next episode will be better, or whatever. If you want more of this, like subscribe to my blog post and Nolan's upcoming blog post. Who like by this time it might be out. Who knows? Just keep your eyes out. I'm sure we'll share it on his Instagram at Nolan Peterson.
Hell yeah. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. That seems like a good episode. I don't even think we introduced this at like the beginning. I don't think we said like welcome.
I don't think so either.
So at the end of this, I guess, welcome. Stay tuned for our next segment on the Slam Cloud podcast. You can support us on anchor.fm. I don't know what else we say. Nolan Peterson, Rowan Livingood, that's us. Catch you in a couple seconds.
Hell yeah.
Last time we talked a lot about, I guess, like the sort of identity crises that you get when posting yourself on the internet.
Yep.
What types of questions do you ask yourself before like you post something?
I guess it's just like how this is going to be perceived.
Right.
I guess I do a whole lot of emotional content, so it's like how I'm possibly going to affect other people. I do a lot of thinking about. Like I do a whole lot of like, I'm not worried about how they're going to perceive me as much as like I hope they think about themselves through my content.
There you go.
So it's like everything I do is a very like emotional piece to a degree.
Right.
So it's like I want everything I do is with the intent of making an emotion in other people.
I get that. I would say that, like, yeah, I question myself, or I question how certain people will see it, like what they'll think when they see it. And I really try not to have that affect the work. I think that, like, I don't want that to affect the work. I want to be honest regardless who's going to read it, you know? And some of that's hard, especially when you, like, are writing about people who are becoming a part of your life. And then, like, you're like, I don't know if I want them to read this, like, because these are some deep, maybe hurtful thoughts that I'm having about them. And it's like, I don't know.
But it's honest.
It's honest. And that's exactly, and I mean, sometimes honesty can get you into trouble, though. Like, that's the thing, though. Like, as long as you're being honest, I guess, is the only thing that you can count on. And I've told that to a lot of people. I've preached, I would say, the gospel of honesty. That is, all you can really worry about is if you're being honest. No one's reaction or feelings can really be affected by you, and you shouldn't feel a lot of guilt or pressure based on people's reactions, because people's feelings are their own. That being said, like, you can make people feel certain things if you're mean to them. That's a lot of, and like, or positive to them. Like, nice to them, and it's such a convoluted, twisted thing. It's always changing. That's the complexity of life, really. Is like, there is this pressure to, I don't know, mandate what you say for people. And then there's also this pressure to have no filter, and be honest. And people's feelings are their own, yet you can make them feel bad or good, and yet they aren't. You shouldn't feel responsible if they feel bad or something like that. So it's really just about what you need to hear. You know what I mean? And that's sort of, it's with therapy and, like, with talking to people, you sort of just get the vibe of, like, oh, people really just need to feel better. And if they feel better, they end up making the right decision. And if they feel better, they end up doing the right thing. And I don't know, like, part of that making them feel better is telling them, oh, so, like, say someone went to a different college than their friend, and the friend is feeling bad about that. Like, you tell them, your friend's feelings are their own. Like, you shouldn't feel bad about doing what's best for you, you know? But then you tell them, like, they say, like, oh, someone was mean to me and now I feel bad. Or what if, like, they're mean to someone else and they make someone feel bad, like, you gotta tell them that, like, people's actions can affect how you feel, like, that's just, I don't know, it's just truth.
But it's also, like, you have to learn how to be truthful to yourself as well. And it's, like, learning how to, like, not make fake realities.
Right.
And learning how to, like, not put yourself in a situation where it's, like, I know how these people feel. Right. But I am choosing not to believe it.
Right. Yeah, it's that's tough, too, because, like, you think about what is, I don't know, just what... I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought. Like, I don't know. What were you saying, bro?
Just like that, it's very interpersonal.
Right.
So everything comes from within you, and it's hard to take yourself out of that when you're worried about how other people perceive you. Mm-hmm. So it's like, do I want to go for the perception of me or how I actually feel? It's like, so do I want to express my emotions, or do I want to go with how I want them to think I feel? So it's a whole lot of just, like, it's like back to the beginning. It's a mix of bro and actual emotions. You have to pick one, and which one are you going to show at this moment?
Yeah, I think that's a big question too. Like, oh, I know if I show this to them, it's going to come off this way. Yes. Versus if I show the other side of it to them, they're going to feel a different way. Yes. And that spectrum can range more than just bro and feelings, right? Yeah. It can range from so much, and everyone's so complicated, and everyone's reaction to things is based on their own experience and everything, and it's like creating these fake realities, like you said, like, I remember I would always think about like scenarios of like things, how things would go down, and like plan out certain things. I remember like, and it can be, you can really let yourself down when it doesn't live up to those expectations, right?
Yep.
I remember one time I asked Caitlin on a like bowling date, and I had made a plan to like make sure it was known it was a date, but then before I had like, it was, the plan was to like bring it up as just sort of, hey, do you want to go bowling?
Yeah.
I did that. She was like, that sounds great. And then it was for like next X day.
Yeah.
But in between those 2 points, Halloween party. So I go to the Halloween party at her house, and there's this guy there. And this guy has his arm around her, and I'm like, oh shit, okay. So
that's not how the plan was originally supposed to go. Yeah.
So I just didn't bring it up. Like, I didn't want to say like, hey, this is a date, because I didn't know like what that situation was. You know what I mean? And it wasn't, I guess it wasn't the biggest deal, you know, but
But it made you think about it.
It made me think about it. It made me not go with my plan, you know? And I wish I either just sort of stuck with that plan, because then I would have had an answer right then and there of like where they were in their situation and where she was and me in her situation. Yeah. But I didn't, because I didn't want to, I don't know, I didn't want to cause conflict or like an issue or like a tough conversation. Especially
sometimes those don't need to be had at like that moment, you know?
That's true.
Sometimes that's for a later time.
That's true. Yeah, and I would have done it like at the beginning, and that would have been the top of our hangout, and then if it's not, then it's like kind of weird. Yeah. You know what I mean? Throughout the whole time. Yeah. And that's sort of fucked. But then like we get back, and I like have this idea of like, oh, like I should do something similar, like, hey, like I just sort of spell it all out, you know, like, hey, I like you, what do you feel, yada yada yada. Yeah. And then, like, I cross the threshold of the door, I turn around, I look at her, she's standing there, and I'm like, good night.
See ya, sailor.
See ya, sailor. Like, saw, you know? And it's just sort of like, fuck. And I remember she, like, walking down the stairs, and for whatever reason, she has this, like, mirror facing the staircase. Weird. So like when you go down the mirror or down the staircase, you face yourself. Ooh. So I had this moment of like seeing myself just be so disappointed in myself, you know? Damn. It was interesting, you know? And like there's a lot of shit like that where like symbolism. Yeah. I feel like that symbolizes me looking back at myself and being frustrated and being disappointed, you know? Having this reflection, literally. Yeah. And there's a lot of small things like that throughout my life that I feel that way about. Like, oh, this is like a symbol. Points. Yeah. This is like a symbol in my life that this symbolizes this aspect of my life in a bigger metaphorical sense. Yeah. Sort of how like books are, right? Mm. And I think about that a lot. I think about these like possible symbols and these possible artifacts in my life that can mean bigger things over the overarching thing that is my life.
So like my question is like, how do you go through your thoughts with that and not feel sad? Like going through them and not feeling like fuck all the time.
So I think back to that moment of Caitlin and that like hate myself whatever. I don't know. I feel like I do. You know, I feel like I do think back and there's a lot of like beating up. I guess I was comforted by the idea that there would be a second chance. Okay. There would be an opportunity for me to redeem myself, to her. And I don't know, there's a lot of moments where the opportunity to fix things has passed. And that's where I feel more of that, like, fuck. Yeah. You know, just like laying in bed, just like, fuck.
So at what point do you give up?
That's the thing, right? I don't know. I think it's mainly just a point to where I forget about it. You know, like, I don't know how to properly move on from things, you know? Yeah. Like, I don't know how to get over past regrets. I can tell myself over and over again that, like, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing, like, why am I worrying about this thing if there's nothing I can do to fix it? Yeah. And I just, like, I know to a T, like, how people behave, it feels, you know, and, like, how people feel. to an extent, but like I feel pretty confident in that. And I know that like if there's certain people I reach out to, it's gonna seem more pathetic than productive.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
are you worried about that?
I'm worried about seeming pathetic.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm way worried about like being pathetic,
Okay.
and I don't want that to be the image that I give off. And I feel like I've done that to an extent sometimes, maybe.
Okay.
Like there's a point where I messaged my ex-girlfriend like at 2 a.m. saying I missed her, and like that felt really bad, even though it wasn't made in this sort of head space of longing and desperation. It was made sort of like I was just thinking about how dope it was to hang out with her sometimes.
Yeah.
And I missed that, and so I messaged her. But like there's points of like I think back to an interaction I had with this chick Isabel, and I wish I had handled it differently, and like I wish I had said things differently that wouldn't have given off the air of desperation. Like I remember I had said some pretty strong words to her, not in an angry sense, but like in a she gave me head, and I was like, this is great, like I'm so excited about what this will turn into. And I think that like possibly scared her a little bit, and I wish I didn't say that, because like though it's what I meant, I didn't mean in the sense of a relationship. I was just excited for like next time we hooked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, oh shit, next time we hook up, we'll
But
probably
like,
do more than that. Have fun.
I would not classify that under like pathetic. I would just like classify that under you're expressing how you feel.
Right. It's just like it gets to the point of like I don't want to reach out to her anymore.
Okay.
Because I don't want to seem pathetic.
Okay.
And because she like cut things off saying that she needed to take time for herself and everything, you know, and I respected that, and she made a very big point of I felt like my time with her was a lot of it was spent explaining to her my insecurities, and a lot of time was spent explaining to her these things I'm self-conscious about, and a lot of it was spent in my head. And I feel like at a certain point it can get a little overwhelming to some people and like a little scary. It's like, oh shit, this guy is like crying crazy. And so like I don't know, that's sort of the vibe I got with her responding, or like I don't know.
Yeah.
And I feel confident in my ability to like, oh, I felt that, like that's something I felt. It could possibly not be how she felt actually.
Yeah.
But I feel confident in my assessment and the accuracy of that assessment because of recent developments and like figuring things out.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been I've been rewarded in and shown the accuracy that my sort of fantasies can have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Understood.
And that can be validating to a point, but it also can be like damaging, where it's like I might think this and I might think it's accurate, and I might have this arrogance of like, oh, I do have a like I have an arrogance where it's like, oh, I've been proven right before, right?
Yeah.
But I'm worried for this moment of like I'm so confident, and then it's just like wrong.
Completely wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to go with your gut for the first bit of it.
Right.
I mean, like you said, it's like if you've been proven right so many times, you must have a good sense of like knowing what people are gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you have a good idea of how you should go about doing things.
Right.
Just because it's like you know how they're gonna respond.
Right.
You know, so it's like it's not a bad thing to have. I guess it's like an insight, but it's definitely like something to be cautious of, because you could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You like there could be a chance that something happens and you're just completely wrong about what it could have meant to them.
Right.
So it's like that's what I struggle with a lot. It's like I have a problem with girls having other guy friends.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I have a problem with it because it's like I know that it's like they're gonna think of me as the worst times.
Mm.
And so they're going to view their friends as the best times.
Mm.
So it's like, how am I going to be able to compare to them when it's like I'm always in a negative light?
Yeah.
So it's like I have to be able to prove myself better than everybody else in their lineup, or else I'm just going to get tossed aside.
Exactly, dude. I get that. And I felt like I really worked hard to not feel that way, especially with my ex-girlfriend. And I felt like it paid off, like it was good, and I didn't feel insecure for a long time. And then like I trusted her to I trusted her. You know, that's sort of what it is, right? You just trust her to think that you are the best, right?
Yeah.
And her friends are just her friends, right? but like then our sort of relationship like ended with me falling out of love with her and her feeling hurt by that and going into this relationship with this other guy. And now, and I'm supposed to, and during when this is happening, like, I'm supposed to trust her for having this guy friend, right?
Yeah.
And that's fine, but it did felt like I was put through the trust ringer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I was put through the gauntlet of trusting her. And then I find out, like, after we break up, that, like, it was something to be distrustful of.
Yeah.
And that just, like, pisses me off. Because, like, how am I now supposed to go through my other relationships in the future and not have trust issues?
Yep, 100%. It's like definitely, it's like I see, like there's definitely people that I did not want my ex-girlfriend talking to because she had prior relationships with them. And it's like I did not feel comfortable with them being involved in her life and me also being a presence. So it's like when I see now that they're hanging out and having a good time and, you know, doing all this stuff, it's like definitely like, it's like, oh, I was right.
Right, I was right to be distrustful.
Yes.
Right, I was right to set those boundaries. That's what's so fucked. I mean, there's parts of that. Yeah, women are fucking. Oof.
They're insane. How the fuck are we supposed to keep up with this?
I don't understand. If any women are listening, why? Why do you do this to us?
Why are you like you are?
Why are you like you are?
Is that not, I don't think that's right grammar.
I don't think that's right either.
Why are you are?
Why are you like the way... Wait, I don't even know. I have to listen to it back and print it on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, new t-shirt's coming out soon.
New t-shirt. We'll put it on screen. It's flashing right now. I'm sure of it. I promise I'll remember. Why are you like you are?
You are.
Why are you like
Yeah, it's like, why you guys gotta fucking fuck with our emotions and make us think so deeply about ourselves and so much about how we fucking feel.
And then just totally throw it into the dumpster,
Yeah,
man.
it's like a fucking garbage disposal.
It's like, oh gosh, dude, it's. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the progress that I've made because of her, but it's like, you can go fucking shove that up your ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's like I feel a whole lot of hate for no reason, you know? It's like I feel a whole lot of, it's like, why am I angry all the time?
Right. Yeah, I mean, yucky.
Yeah, yucky feelings.
Yucky feelings. Subscribe to us on Instagram.
Yeah. Get
hydrated.
Put it in your system.
Put it in your system. I need to know the context. I need to remember.
We gotta find that clip again.
We gotta. Yeah, that's, I think, episode 6 or 7. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, either one. But, yeah, throwback to Put It In Your System. OG fans remember that one.
Yeah.
Hasn't even come out yet when we're recording this.
Right?
Yeah. I will say, we gotta figure out like a better way to let people know when the episodes are out.
Yeah, it's gotta be a bigger announcement.
It's gotta be a bigger announcement.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how, like...
It might be a post on all 3 of our Instagrams.
Oh, okay, right.
That way it reaches 3 different audiences.
Just like straight up, like a story?
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, do you think people read them? You know, like...
I mean, it's gotta be eye-catching. It's gotta be something fucking wild. It's gotta be like one of your thumbnails.
Oh, okay.
You know, something so eye-catching that it's impossible to miss. It's gotta have something intriguing about it.
Right.
That way people notice it.
Right.
We just want people to know that it's happening.
We just gotta have people watching.
Yeah.
Listening. Experiencing.
Yeah. That's number 1 and foremost.
Yeah, maybe, I mean, I'm sure there's hella articles out there on how to build your podcast audience. I was thinking about we could post a lot of shit to Reddit.
I mean, we might also like do ads, you know? We might record some ads, do something like that, and and pay to have those promoted.
Very true. Yeah, we can make like a little short video
and
then promote it on various things.
Yeah.
True. Fuck, man, there's a lot of stuff to do as these tiny little business boys we are, dude.
Yep, it's a whole lot of, you know, doing clips and trying to share image.
It's just hard to like. I wish we had a whiteboard. We gotta invest in a
Yep.
whiteboard because then we could just keep track of these bigger ideas. You
Yep.
know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, we did want to like
Vasectomy. Number 1. We have to figure out when our balls are getting cut off.
Yeah, we do, and we also need to record those phone calls too.
Yep.
I didn't know if you wanted to do that just audio,
Yeah.
or if you wanted to record like a video of us calling.
I mean, we could do both. It's like, definitely think anything that's podcast related, we should start doing behind the scenes footage. Just because it's like the more footage we have of us doing stuff,
Right.
the more we can clip into stuff.
Right.
Like, especially for like, you know, if we ever wanted to do behind the scenes, like a video just of that,
Right,
we
right.
could have the clips to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's what's.
But it's like when we start doing that stuff, we're just so focused that it's hard to like think of like,
Remember.
oh fuck, we have to record this.
I mean, that's the idea with the whole Q&A. I'm just
Yep.
curious about like who's gonna partake.
Yep.
I will say that Q&A is way more entertaining when the person is talking to the camera
Yep.
versus like typing out their answer and then
Yep.
taking a picture. You know
100%.
what I mean? So that's probably what's gonna happen after we record this. But I can't. I don't know. Like, I wonder how much participation there will be. And maybe you guys will surprise us, but
I mean, I feel like you on your side have a lot more engagement.
yeah, I think so.
Just because it's like I feel like your friends care, care a whole lot,
Possibly.
like a lot about like what you're doing.
Possibly, yeah.
Just like my friends are just more of like the bro type.
Mhm.
So it's just like, oh, you're doing art fag. It's like, yeah, I'm doing art. Sorry, you know.
Yeah, I get that. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's a pain.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that you have me, right? That is
Yeah.
sort of this not, oh, you doing art? Like
Yeah.
fucking lame-o, you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot about like, oh shit, like a lot of my followers are girls. Or like
Okay.
a lot of people who I'm following are ladies. And like, I think a lot about like how there's such a lack of like these bro dudes or like just dudes in general, you know?
We just gotta get them interested. That's why I like the clit stuff and the
Uncircumcision?
yeah. That's what I'm hoping to push a little bit harder, just because it's like that's what's gonna draw the bro dudes in,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like that's what I'm hoping fucking it brings that kind of audience in, because it's like it's a little bit of half and half.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's a half interpersonal connection and half, you know, talking about fucking.
Vaginas and
That's-
getting laid.
yeah, that's what it is.
Hand jobs.
Yeah, we talk about head a lot.
We do. I mean, it's just this weird thing that like people like, I guess, but like no.
It's like we're all just like.
Yeah, we were shooting a little video at our third grade elementary school, and his buddies came over because they were gonna do this nude photo shoot, but they helped us film it, and they were talking about how good head is, and I was like, I mean, it's all right. Like, I'll never bust on the head though.
Yeah.
Unless I'm like trying to, but like, why would I do that?
Yeah, why would I try to bust on
Why
head?
would I bust on head?
There's
Like,
so much that could happen afterwards.
there's so much that could happen after head. Part of me, yeah, I don't know. There's something to be talked about off camera about like specific women coming and not coming.
Yeah.
But like, because there's been a development in the knowledge that I know.
Okay.
I mean, maybe the people listening will know, but I don't care. I talked to Nolan about this stuff. I don't want to talk to everybody about this.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, it's like it's a whole lot of. But like my relationship with like Gavin and Weasel is like very like game oriented.
Right. I mean, his name is Weasel.
Yeah, that's not even his real name. Like I didn't know his real name until probably 6 months into knowing the guy.
You gotta out him.
It's Eli.
Eli.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eli Rasada.
Ooh, look him up. His name is Weasel.
But he goes by Weasel. I don't know why we call him Weasel. I know it's like from his childhood. I know it's like his parents call him Weasel. So we all just call him Weasel.
Right.
But he's super cool guy, super nice.
Both of them were super cool.
Yeah, no, they're very like nice people. They're just like they care about your feelings a little bit, but it's still in that bro kind of esque.
Right, dude. Yeah, it's difficult to get out of.
Yeah.
Or at least to like, because like what you were saying earlier about like, oh, I act sort of this more intrinsic attitude around certain people, and then other times it's more bro-y.
Yeah.
I think there would be a collapse of the bro-y if there was more intrinsic talk, you know.
Yes.
But I'm not in it a lot, and the times I have been, I mean, I feel like it's been appreciated.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh yeah, bro, like that's so true. Like my mom passed away when I was like 2 months old, and like died. You know what I mean? Like people always got shit to talk about. People got shit they're feeling about, but like people also will trash you. I imagine. You know, it's like you guys want to talk about like feelings, like that's gay.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's like you have to really read the room before you do anything like that.
Right, and sometimes I mean it can be beneficial because like maybe a room can be like a little not telling of like the actual vibe, maybe like that's the question I wonder is like, oh well, how many of these people actually do have feelings? You know, probably a lot of them. Everyone's got feelings. How many of these people are gonna like make me feel bad about talking about them? You know, it's like that's hard to find out. Based on the outsides.
100%. It's like
it's a gamble.
It 100% is. It's like you don't know exactly how other people are gonna react to you opening up to them.
Definitely, it's like I said, it's a gamble, right? Like, but I don't know. There's a benefit to running that gamble. You know, there's gonna be people who appreciate us somewhere in that crowd, or there's gonna be people who it resonates with, and you're gonna be able to make that deeper connection with them. And if it's a guy, great, you can have butt sex. But like if it's a girl, it's even better. Vaginal sex. So
hell yeah,
vaginal sex, anal sex.
So what was the point where you really understood that like I was like a slightly deeper person?
Interesting. I don't know. I felt like the art. You know, like people who make things like that. Like it's. I don't know. It's probably all the suicide shit, bro. Like that's people who go through those sorts of feelings. Like they aren't just not dealing with them. You know, I mean that's part of the problem, right? But like they're there. You know, and it's not. I'm not gonna. I can tell. I could tell that like there was this vibe of like. I'm trying to think of like leading up to Wyoming. It was. Nolan's this bro, and then I had to sort of like call the cops to like save you, but not really because they didn't do anything. And you can read about this on my blog post. Shout out, month of September, I think. I believe
so.
And that was a moment, obviously, for me. But like after those moments, like. It just sort of started deteriorating, and I felt like the first episode of the podcast we got a little deep, and then even on the second one we got even deeper, but you don't even remember it. And then after that, you know, it just sort of happens, right? You just sort of have these deep conversations, and I don't know, like it's hard to go from these deep conversations to like stupid bro-y conversations, but like. With us, when we do it, it's like very from this comedic standpoint. It's about making jokes and stuff like that, right? So that's easier because it's about making jokes. But like before Wyoming, I would say like it was. I don't know. It felt more like it had to be a genuine thing, right? It wasn't about cracking jokes. It was about relating to it. And you know, I haven't had a lot of sexual partners, so it's like I couldn't relate to it a whole lot, but like. I could a little bit, and I could play into it. And it's sort of reading the room and like changing who you act as, right, based on who you're around, and sort of like that chameleon effect of, I'm around these broy dudes, I'm gonna be a broy dude, or like I'm around these
to blend in.
I guess so. Like that's how it was with Mickey as well at the campsite. Like he's this fucking ex-convict. Ex-girlfriend name tattooed on his calf, like has this shotgun and these 2 dogs, and he's rolling fucking cigarettes with buglers, and it's like nasty ass prison tobacco essentially. And like I had to just like mask who I was entirely in order to make sure of, in my eyes, my safety. You know what I mean? If I got in too much conflict with this guy, who knows what he would do.
100%.
And anyone who knows the blog post or has read it, like I talked about this moment where he references in the other campsite he was at, and this other guy that was going around getting drunk and like yelling, and he had to like get kicked out, and I'm like, this sounds like it could have been you, buddy. You know? And I feel like that's likely for like someone who has done that, and then to move and then to sort of need to get it off their chest in this sort of not revealing way.
Yeah.
It's like, that makes sense, right? Like, this guy does this shitty thing, and then he sort of feels bad, but he needs to talk about it somehow. He sort of brings it up in this sort of, like, sketchy way.
Yeah.
And back then, I was like, maybe that's what it was, maybe it wasn't. But, like, now, with the confidence I have of, like, reading people, I guess, like, I'm pretty confident that's what was happening, you know? But that sort of chameleon aspect, right? I sort of chameleoned my way into them, and then there was this lady who came up, and I was instantly back into like myself, right? Or like talking about safety and like responsibility and like realizing that if I left, he might get mad, you know?
Understood.
And all of these things, and with you, I would say in Wyoming, shooting, like about halfway when we started more talking about the people on Instagram we follow, or the people that we still know about, that we have in common.
Yeah.
That was when I would say like a deeper sort of talk was established, I would say. You know, like that instance of like, oh, this is how I actually felt about them. And like we talked about Gabe for a little bit, I'm sure, and talked about just like stuff, you know what I mean? And other than like pussy.
Yeah, other than surface level kind of stuff.
Right.
And it's like that. I feel the same exact way. It's like once we started actually talking, it's like I understand where you're coming from as like a person, and it's like you are very like non-bro forward, where it's like I am very bro forward.
It's sort of the initial thing people see.
Exactly.
Right.
It's like I want to come off as just okay, cool, like. I'm gonna be okay in regardless of the situation.
It's the okay, cool. Like that's the vibe for sure. I get it.
So, like with you, it's like you wanted to dig deeper into it.
Right.
So it's like I understood that, and it's like I realized that I have to be a little bit more interpersonal, and it's like I understand. It's like, oh, you actually have self-awareness.
Right.
And it's like we were talking about this. It's like a lot of people just don't have self-awareness of what they're doing, and so it's like it's hard to like recognize that it's like, oh no, this person actually understands like their feelings and why they do certain things. So it's like it's a hard transition from bro into, oh, this person actually knows how shit works down. Like it works.
Yeah, totally. I think that like people, there's a certain, like with you, like we've talked a lot about this off like camera and off the podcast about like how self-aware people can be and how self-aware you and I are. And like we are aware of how we're being perceived by people, and we're aware of how other people aren't necessarily aware of those things. And the people who aren't aware are typically like rude people that we don't vibe with. You know what I mean? And it's like there's a certain courtesy that being aware of yourself allows you to extend to other people. You know, like I feel like because of how self-aware I am, I'm so courteous to these other people that may or may not be self-aware, but like I'm picking up on these aspects of like, oh, I can tell they're uncomfortable, or I can tell that they want to talk about something else. Oh, I can tell they had something to say. Like I'm gonna bring the conversation back to them so they can say what they want to say. You know, I'm gonna be real with people. You know, I'm gonna be upfront. I'm gonna choose. Sometimes this is like not the case. So you know, I'm gonna choose not to talk about something, or I'm gonna choose to delve deeper into something. Like I was at my friend Andrew's place. Shout out to Andrew. And he asked me like where I lived. And right now that's a little touchy subject. Not touchy, just sort of like I don't know how he would have responded. I know that a mutual friend of ours, Caitlin's, knows, so I don't know exactly how much he knows about that. But like, I didn't necessarily feel comfortable like talking about it then. I don't know why necessarily, but like I just sort of subverted the question a little bit, and it was. I respected him not like really pushing, right? But like it was interesting. Like I felt like I regretted that action that I made. Like I felt like thinking back on it, I felt like I should have just been upfront and been real. But I felt like me personally, like I don't quite know exactly what's going on. I'm just sort of going with whatever happens, and so it's hard to like be like, oh, this is what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Because it's like it doesn't feel like something I'm doing. It just sort of feels like what's happening.
Yep. And it's just like it's also not up for like debate,
right?
You know, so it's like not something that people have like a need to have an opinion on. You know, it's just like the situation that is going on at the moment.
Right, exactly. And that's what's kind of tough to like determine or like because people will sort of give their opinion about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's out of like guilt. Like some people will be like, oh, that's so cool. You know what I mean? And some, like, I feel like, yeah, it's pretty all right, you know? But other times it's I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the need to justify it. You know, I feel the need to like make sure they know it's like, oh,
because it's out of the norm.
It's out of the norm.
But
right.
it's also like something that's like I think we've all wanted to do. You
Right.
know, it's always like be nomadic.
Right.
Be like free.
Right.
Of like having
a place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like having a solid. Yeah, having a solid. You know, foundation. I guess it's having the fluidity of being able to go wherever the fuck I want, whenever, and that's how I live my life.
Yeah.
You know, it's really respectable through that fact, and it's like I just don't think other people understand that.
Yeah, some people don't. You know what I mean, and some people do. It's just about finding and like not caring, finding those people who do, and then not caring about the people who don't. Right.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of insecurity I face with that sort of vibe of like, oh, I see. You know, like that sort of reaction.
Yeah.
Or like thinking less of me or like thinking down. Like it's just not a vibe that I'm jiving with. It's pretty sus.
Yeah. I mean that's people.
That's people. Alrighty. Thank you guys for listening to the Slam Cloud podcast. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok at SlamACloudPod. Check out our clips there. We got minute and under videos on TikTok, minute and over videos on Instagram. And also our YouTube channel, Slam Cloud Podcast, features full 50 to an hour long videos of these podcasts. So if you're listening on Anchor or Spotify or what have you, your favorite podcast listening device of choice.
I believe we're on Apple Music now too.
We could possibly be on Apple Podcasts. I haven't checked. We just contacted support not too long ago. They said they would get on it. So maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly. Check Apple Podcasts. Let us know if you see us there.
Hell yeah.
Peace out, guys.